What is on top of the deck? What is on top of the deck? Oh, it's Lightning Helix! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Welcome to Hunt the Week.
Hello everyone and welcome into the show. Welcome on in each and every one of you otters, you rats, you bats, you cats, you dogs, you frogs, you mice. I'm sure I'm missing some. There's more of you out there, but you're a cute little cuddly animal, and I'm happy that you're here. Well, come on in. We are in Foundations Planechase League. This is week 5. And boy, is it an exciting one. We're all cute, cuddly animals here. We all got whiskers. We all got a little fur, except for those frogs. This is Hunt the Week. It is your weekly Magic the Gathering podcast about the Sealed Arena Gauntlet League that we know, love, and play in. I am your host with the most, your Don John DeMarco, your Goku or Go Home, the Pride of Mardu. I am a 4-time top 8er, a 2-time league winner, and 1 time I got knocked out in week 5 of Planechase League in my first match. It's true, I did. We'll talk about it a little bit in our next segment, so let's go ahead and get to it as we spin the wheel.
Everybody knows how to spin the wheel.
Let's go, wheel! A miracle.
It's so simple.
Spin the wheel!
That's right. As I record, it's 7:26 p.m. on Thursday. A little late for me because here's the thing. I actually recorded all that other stuff about an hour and a half ago. I got pinged to play some Roto games. Went down, played my Roto games. Every time I try to jump back up and finish the podcast, I get pinged for another Roto game. Doing great in Roto, though. Having a blast. But we got our top 8 for Foundations. Are there any new names in here? A little bit. We got a couple new names. Lot P, Lotta, the Birdie at 20-5. Did you really 5-0 again? Oh, 4-2. Wow. Lotta's just having an amazing league. Max K, Lindender came on the podcast, beat me once, 18-7, went 4-2 this week. MF Sepulcher, 2-3 at 18-7. Joaquin E, Diabolic Machine, Kyler Durden as they call him, 17-7. Jordan M, J M Tron, 17-8. I missed Frisky Hobbit, who's right above Jordan. Daniel G, Frisky Hobbit, 17-7. DeWitt K, Seething Octopus, 17-8. And Josiah L, Cardigan, 17-8. Josiah went 4-1 to move up into the top 8. We got a few 5-0s. We got 4 5-0s this week. Who are they? First 5-0 is going to go to Ryan M. Rern, the great Mardu Khan. Ryan is an awesome guy. Another 5-0 right here to Maho Chi Fordham, who could go for the 6-0. They still have another game to play. Another 5-0 from Caleb G. Why not? Why not get 5 games won in a week, right? Caleb G, great player. Good to see him doing well. And our last 5-0 is coming from Jaden M. Mononic Device. Met Jaden at AGL Con. Another nice guy. Another 5-0. Well, I mean, contentious top 8. 20-5 is the top. 17-8. Lots is kind of running away with it. You know, she does. I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say she wants to get as many wins as possible for the Mega Draft, but that rule's gone. She wants to be the pennant winner, so she automatically gets that Player of the Year invite if she doesn't already have one. But it's going to be contentious. There's a lot of 18s, 17s, and 16s that are going to be fighting it out in Week 6. And where are we going in Week 6? That is a great question. The wheel has been spun. The last plane is known, and this is it. We are going to Ixalan's Core. Ixalan's Core. When you planeswalk to Ixalan's Core, each player gets 2 map tokens. A map token can be used to reroll an unwanted comeback pack and replace it with a pack of Ixalan and a pack of Rivals of Ixalan. All comeback packs are from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. 3 Ixalan packs. So you lose a match, you get the newest Ixalan pack, which was like the Hamlet Glutton enchantment tea kind of what was it? It's not devotion. It's the what's the mechanic? And that mechanic was, of course, called Descend. And also some slight artifact synergies in there. But if you don't like your pack, you re-roll it, you get 2 packs. One from the original Ixalan, one from Rivals of Ixalan. More of low-powered sets, more typal sets. But it's 2 packs, right? And if that first pack doesn't add a lot to your deck, not too much harm in looking at 2 more. Looks cool, looks fun. I don't get to play it. I got knocked out this week. Came to the week on my death match. Me and Cody played our death match, as we like to do. And of course, Cody knocked me out. Cody had a sweet deck. I love playing Cody. We haven't been playing our death matches for a little bit. It was good to get back to it. He's a good guy, and he's probably the best player on the server. But he's not the only player on the server. I talked to somebody who's still alive, who's still kicking this week. A good friend of mine. Join me as we figure out where we are.
Blimey, Inspector. Where have we wound up this time? The question isn't where, Constable, but when.
Of course, we know where we are. We are on Bloomborough, en route to Lost Caverns of Ixalan, about to be going deep into those caves as we finish out Plains Chase League, Foundations League. Mega Draft rules look super exciting. If you're still playing and you're just getting to week 6, read the week 6 primer. It's important. It's a little different. And read the Mega Draft rules, because the Mega Draft rules are insane. So if you think you might make it, please read the Mega Draft rules. And I talked to somebody who might make it. They're going to have a really good week 6 if they do. But hey, I'm rooting for them. I talked to Chris R. Sinkwater, good buddy of mine. Know Chris IRL. Haven't had him on the pod in a while. Me and Chris go way back. We go to Magic tournaments like SCG cons and GPs back in the day together. We won the team league, the Kamigawa Neo team league. I always talk about how Chris drafted Dream Trawler, and I told him not to play it, and he didn't listen to me, and we won because of it. So what do I know? But Chris is an awesome guy. Kind of a long interview. We had a good time talking. Join me and listen to my interview with Chris R. Sinkwater now. All right, everyone, join me this week as we figure out where we are with none other than Chris R., a.k.a. Sinkwater. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thanks, John. I'm back. I'm not sure I know where I am either, but I guess we'll figure it out.
Hey, we are. Here's the thing I can tell you. We are currently on. Oh, boy. Where are we? Where are we now? Oh, we're on Bloomborough. We're on Bloomborough en route to Ixalan. Not a lot of humans on either one of those planes, actually. So we're the odd man out. We're humans. If you were on Bloomborough, what animal would you be?
So I picked Otter during the Bloomborough League, and I'm sticking with Otter. Otters are the best.
That's a good choice. I mean, I'm Frog, because I love Chrono Trigger. I wanted to be Frog from Chrono Trigger. But Otter, you go to the zoo, you spend time at the Otter water hole or whatever. That's the best time of your life right there.
It's the best. Better. I have gotten to swim with otters before.
Oh, okay. I need to hear a little bit about this.
Yeah. So there's a rescue ranch about 2 hours south of me here in Texas where they have some otters that they've been raising, and they're you pay a bunch of money and you get to go hang out in a hot tub, and you feed them and they swim around you, and it's the best thing ever.
What is that like? They're furry, but are they like? I've heard otters are stinky. Are they like climbing on you and stuff? Or is it cute?
It's cute. They're climbing on you. But yeah, so at the start, when you're feeding them, they're kind of grabbing with their little hands and eating, swimming around and playing with each other. And then, so you do that with 4 otters. And then when you're done, you get out and you sort of like put a bunch of towels on you, and then they all kind of like dry off on you, and they're all rolling around on you and stuff like that. I mean, it's literally like the best thing ever.
That sounds so cool. Oh my gosh, what a dream come true.
Yeah.
To swim around with otters.
It is great.
But we're not here to talk about otters, Chris, as much as I would like to. We're here to talk about Magic the Gathering, and more specifically, the Arena Gauntlet League Foundations Plains Chase. How are you liking Plains Chase? And you're doing pretty well. What's your record, and what's helping you do well?
So yeah, my record right now is 14-9. This plane has been a little bit rough for me. And I think overall I'm enjoying. I love the concept of the plane chase, right? But I feel like the way it's sort of played out has been a little disappointing, a little underwhelming. My deck, what's been helping me do pretty well is that I have a plan with my deck, and the plan came together pretty early in the league, but it's really based on Foundations cards. I have just a lot of small creatures that I can sack. I have 2 of the gourmands, the vampires.
Oh yeah.
and I'm just making a bunch of creatures, and I have the 5/3 flyer vampire that sacks and does some
Yeah.
things, and if I could play them, I have the squad ralliers. Just keep grabbing, just keep, throwing stuff out there, and eventually I get through with either some unblockable damage or I have three of the blood witches that
Hmm.
ping when anything or drains when anything dies. And I've had some pretty impressive wins with that where people just kind of can't attack into me because they'll die based on all the triggers. And so
Yeah.
there's a bunch of little things that have all been coming together, but it's been a little rough sledding this week for me on that. But
Yeah, we
that's
were talking last week before when this got rolled, and I was like, "Hey, my deck's, I don't lose anything. I only lose two cards." You're like, "Dude, I lose a bunch of my important pieces." Like you said, your squad ralliers, because you're running, and I think it's a really interesting deck. Because you're playing a rare that I've never seen played before, and you make it look so good. Which is the two white. You still playing it? Return all creatures mana value two or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
I'm still playing it, and I recognize that that's not a very good card, but
You make it look good.
it
That's all that
fits
matters.
the deck. And yeah, so it's a nice thing. It's all coming together. I don't really have any bomb level cards necessarily. I have a celestial armor that's been sneaking me some games. I
Hmm.
picked up a what's it called? The transmogrant crown, which is just helping me keep
Oh
my
yeah,
hand filled, and that works out with all the creatures that I'm making. So that's been pretty good. So I have some rares that work, but they're not rares that are coming down and being like, oh no, like how do
yeah.
I,
You didn't
you
open
know,
Oko? You didn't get an
no
Oko?
no Okos, no Lilianas, no, whatever stuff that just takes over the game.
Um, I think you're playing again. It's a really neat deck. It's like an aristocrat style, black white deck. You have 1,000 two drops. Like your deck is like a ton of two drops, and that's why that return all cards mana value two or less is so good. Because eventually you cast that. You had a feature match where that card just like went off and it did great. Um, I don't know. It's a really cool deck. I've enjoyed watching it. And let's talk about the Planes Chase League just for a second.
Yeah.
Um, I am seeing out there a lot of feedback that people are not digging Planes Chase. They basically are saying it's like, it's a chaos light. I wanted more weird, more wacky, more crazy things to happen. The fact that we hit a bunch of planes that seemed lower powered and didn't really have a lot of deck restrictions, so it didn't really change much other than we're opening up, frankly, a lot of older packs, right? Like we did Kaldheim, we did Eldraine, Bloomburrow's more recent, but Bloomburrow also wasn't like a super powerful set. I know it's the world of play boosters, but Bloomburrow uh, wasn't super strong, I don't think. And now we're going to Ixalan, another not super strong set. Are you getting what you wanted to get out of Planes Chase, or is this what you wanted, or do you also? See, here's the thing: I like Chaos, so a Chaos Light League, I'm like, yeah, it's great. I like Chaos, like that's fine. Um, but yeah, I don't know that this scratched my Planes Chase itch, although I did enjoy the league. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love chaos too, right? That's sort of what we love doing. But yeah, it hasn't really scratched the itch for the planes chase or for chaos really for me either. And I don't know. I mean, I think one thing that sort of is a ding against it is that I think this was maybe set up to be oh, we've got a core set coming through, let's spice it up a little bit. And I know you love a core set, but turns out Foundations is a pretty good core set.
It's what Foundations is great. Foundations is a great set. It's a fun draft. I think it's much better than people thought it was gonna be. And I don't know. I like Foundations quite a bit actually. I thought it was pretty dang fun. Um, so yeah, I agree. I think people I don't know that Foundations needed the spice. But it's hard to know what set's gonna need the spice too at the same time, right? Like
For sure.
if you're gonna do it, a core set makes sense, but this is probably the best core set we've had in a long time. Um, and again, oh, I love me a core set. I really do.
Yeah, and I know people have been talking about if it was all foundations, we'd just be having Esper battles by the end of it, but I don't necessarily know that that's true. And I think that would have been okay too. I don't know.
It's interesting to think of any plane or any league at this point that's all one set. I know Nick Najisi has been asking for that lately. Like, hey, give me just one set. Let me just play the set. And even with the upcoming Pioneer Masters, it's not all Pioneer Masters. We're going to be bouncing around a little bit. Although if we did all Pioneer Masters, it would just be Gates and Red White Aggro. I am convinced of that because those two decks are just destroying me when I do drafts. It's
Well,
one or the
yeah.
other.
I mean that yeah. Oof, I think that would be a nightmare
Yeah, that would
for
be.
sure.
I originally I was like, oh man, you guys are trying to limit multicolored soup decks. Don't do that. Like I like soup decks. And then I played against a few gate decks, and I was like, yeah, gates are going to get pretty nuts, probably by the end of this league. So I understand it, and I don't oppose it. But also, I'm a little worried about red white aggro because that deck kills you on like turn 4. And
Hmm.
like, oh, I know it's league and the decks are bigger. Our aggro's harder to do, right? But you don't need a lot of pieces when you go like one drop that cares about heroic, two drop that cares about heroic trigger, and it's just like you're dead. It's just like, all right, cool, cool. Needed my gates ablaze and my gates deck. That guess what?
Yeah,
I don't get to play.
right. I needed to get to turn 4 and I didn't quite get there.
But hey, I'm excited for Pioneer Masters League. They made a ton of changes to it. The league committee is so good, so great. I can't say enough things about them. But we're in Plains Chase. How has this been? What has been your favorite plane you went to? And is there a plane you wish we would have gone to? Um, and what do you think of the plane that got rolled today? A lot of questions coming at you. So, what
A
was your
lot of questions.
favorite plane of the ones we went to?
Well, I'm gonna go with Foundations. I mean, it's sort of what set up my deck. I got a couple more packs. I don't remember how I started out the league. Probably 3-2, maybe. And I was just kind of off to the races. And I think I only got one um Kaltheim pack that didn't do anything for me. And then this plane has been pretty bad for me. So yeah, so Foundations. I wish I had a few more. I could have built up my deck. Uh, Ixalan. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. I mean, I think it being rolled as the sixth and final plane with the mechanic of having to two options to reroll, a lot of people are going to be rerolling both times, right? Unless you just have a busted pack. So it sort of you feel a little priced into that, even though I guess LCI is way overpowered compared to Rivals and regular Ixalan, right? It has to be.
Well, it's a little awkward because, like you said, you're 14-9, so you got what, at least one more match to play this week, right?
Hmm.
You hit that loss this week, you're not rerolling anything with those map tokens. Like once you're on your last loss, the mechanics don't matter if they're not a deck restriction, which is a little awkward. I was on my last loss this week, and I did have to take out a couple humans. But I felt weird, like not caring about the packs anymore, and like that whole. Do you hold that game? That fun game that you get to play in this league of like, hey, I got an extra game. I'm holding it and waiting to see if I want to do it. But once you're on your last loss, like that aspect goes away, and then you're just kind of just doing the league thing. And when it's playing chase, I just want a little more than playing my games a week. I'm expecting some craziness, last time we hit like all the goofy planes, and I don't think we really hit any this league. I guess no humans is was like probably the weirdest and wackiest, but we also didn't hit a lot of like we hit a lot of sets that cared about specific types that weren't humans. So they weren't
Yeah.
super important.
Well, and the no humans is such an asymmetric
Yeah.
thing that it didn't hit everybody the same way. But yeah, with like I think we talked about it the week before when you opened up like all these crazy rares and you were like,
Oh,
"Hey, should I hold this last game?" And I'm like, "No, because you're not going to get another pack.
yeah.
So you don't let anybody else get more packs. You might as well just play it out right away, right?"
And I won that game, and it was against JM Tron, and that was probably my best win of the league.
Well, there you go.
He got stuck on 2 lands, and that's how you beat him, people.
I do remember in the LFM channel you getting paired up with him, and I was like, "Geez, I just gave terrible advice."
Oh no, that was my last win. Then I played Cody this week. We've been doing our death matches, and Cody had my number, as he does. What do you think of Ixalan? Like you said, it's you don't even get rivals, do you? Oh, you do get rivals. It's one of both.
So I think you get the LCI pack, and then you can do the map token where you get both a Rivals of Ixalan and a regular
Oh,
Ixalan.
okay. So that way you're leaving the Lost Caverns. I
I think
gotcha.
that's correct.
But you have to pick pack into one pack of Ixalan. Okay, so you don't if you roll to comment, so you don't have to pick one pack. You get two packs if you map token. That's kind of nice.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's a good balance, right? Where you have the more powerful, more recent
Yeah.
set, and then if it's not so good, then you take your chances with the double the older, worse cards.
Oh, and those are some rough sets too. Those are two sets that like did not enjoy those draft formats. Not and they don't really play well with others. Again, more typal sets. Do you care about vampires? Do you care about merfolk? Do you care about dinosaurs? Like that's what's important.
Yeah.
Um,
I got a ton of vampires, so I could use some vampires.
oh, see, there you go. That might help you out a little bit, Chris. Was there a plane that you really was hoping to see that we didn't get to see?
I'll be honest, I did not go through the potential planes too closely, but I never want to play Brawl. So I never want to see Brawl is not a limited format. That'll be my soapbox. So I don't even know what it was set up, what plane we were going to go on that we were going to be stuck with that, but I know it keeps coming up. But yeah, I have no interest.
It's a league split. I famously was really into Brawl and then changed my mind after playing Brawl last time. I said Brawl sucks. We can't do this anymore. The good Brawl decks are just too good. Uh
Yeah, well, it's not limited when you get to draw your same good card over and over again.
yeah,
And
and my card's usually not that good. Their card's usually
no,
way better.
never. Yeah, I mean, I would, since I have the platform here, if you're gonna make a brawl thing, make it a separate league so I can not sign up for it. Like I don't want to accidentally be stuck on a brawl plane.
I think they did at least try to do the conquest thing this time, which kind of fixes it. So you have to play with two different commanders, which is a little better, but I totally understand where you're coming from. It's not limited, it's its own thing. I like it in a planes chase style thing like this, where again, I want the wacky and the weird. But other than that, I'm not a huge fan. It's fun, but it doesn't work right in League. Like I don't know that League has really cracked the brawl code yet.
No, not for me.
What are your thoughts on Pioneer Masters? I know we got that coming up next. We actually did a roto draft. I'm gonna play you after this recording. We got to get our game in, so I'm gonna make you play me. So I know you've seen the cards. What do you think? What do you think of Pioneer Masters?
So I've done maybe four Pioneer Masters drafts so far, so I haven't done a ton. So the problem for me with these Masters sets is that I like limited. I got brain space for about 400 cards maybe, so that's like 300 of the current set, and then maybe some other ones I remember from the past. Whenever Richard is playing the art game, I just sit there astonished that anybody
Oh my
can,
God,
you
yeah.
know, do
I
that at
can't do
all.
the art game.
So I like Pioneer. For me, Pioneer Masters is almost kind of like a chaos, cubish type experience because I don't remember a lot of those cards, and so it's been fun. But I also remember like the first draft I did, I was in Demir, and then it just kept getting past gates and gates, and then a gates ablaze, and so I just ended up splashing like two gates ablazes. I had like 12 or some stupid number of gates, and then I was looping them with the gates ablaze with the possessed scob,
Yeah,
and
that
it's
card's
just
great.
like this is stupid. Like what are we doing here? But it's obviously it's more complicated than that, but it does seem like people are talking about it's green multicolored gates or it's red white assertive. And we'll see how the league, you know, bears that out. I think it'll be a little different in 60 cards, and there's a lot to be figured out. There's a lot of bombs too, so people are going to be building around their bombs, and so I think we could be set up for a good league. I don't know how much I'm gonna keep drafting it. After doing a few, I'm kind of like get me back to foundations. I kind of like that draft environment better, but I don't know.
Oh, I love hearing that you like the core set. I agree with Pioneer Master. Here's the thing. I think Pioneer Masters looks great, and I'm super nostalgic because it's all these fun cards from when I first started playing Magic. Like I go back to M14. I say it all the time. Archangel Athun, Tidebinder Mage, Like a lot of the cards from this set are from when I started to play and like when I was watching a lot of standard and stuff. That like these were the decks, Stormbreath Dragon, Mizzium Mortars. Like these cards I saw a lot of play. And I remember opening Archangel of Thune and it being like a $40 card and me being pumped. Um, so I love the bestow. I like the Theros mechanics. Like I am nostalgic for this time in Magic where things were a little simpler and things were um I don't know. Just I'm nostalgic for when I started to play. But the stupid Gates Ablaze deck and the stupid Red White Heroic deck. Red White Heroic was a problem in Theros draft too. Like that was a standard deck. Like that
Hmm.
was a good deck. Gates was never a standard deck, but Gates is always the soupy, let me do everything, and this has all the really strong Gates card, like Gate Colossus and the stupid Ram and Gates Ablaze. That's all you need, and then everything else is like whatever you want to play. Um,
Well, and then you're also able to play any bomb you open if you're in
yeah.
that deck. So there's just not much of an incentive to not do that.
Yeah, and Guild Summit draws so many cards.
Hmm.
And again, Gates Ablaze, you have the board wipe. Like all you need is a board wipe, and it's at uncommon, isn't it? Like you're gonna get them. So I think that those two archetypes alone, and if one or the other was gone, I think it would be fine. Like I don't know that the Gates deck keeps the red white aggro deck in check. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But yeah, I keep trying to play like fun black white decks or like Abzan or blue black control, and I'm just like I can't go long against Gates, and I can't stabilize fast enough against aggro. Uh, I think it's fun, but I do think that they could have done without like the Gates archetype or the super aggressive heroic archetype. Like they're just oh, you know what else I don't like? I don't like the green hexproof archetype.
Yeah.
That drives me fucking nuts. Like I don't swear much on the show, but it's like you're gonna make hexproof in archetype, like hexproof boggles. It's cool that it's there, but it's not fun to play against, and it's so hard to interact with that like I don't like that. I don't like that I can run up against like the hexproof deck, and like that's not fun magic. Um, but maybe that's
No.
just me.
No, I mean, we've learned, we know nobody likes hexproof. It's not fun.
Yeah.
And and I don't know, like the gates are already available on Arena, right? So like what were they doing? Getting Maze's End in there
I
or
think it was just
something?
Maze's End, which, by the way, is probably the worst card in Gates. Like Maze's End is not
Right.
doing any. If you would have just done Maze's End and the Gates without like the Ram or the Colossus or Gates of Blade, like get rid of two of those Gates cards. So it's
Yeah.
like Gates isn't like that. I feel like it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'm just the Gate guy. I just take Gates if there's nothing in the pack, and eventually I'll find the Gate cards. Like, um, which is I also love the Gates deck. Like, of course I want to
Right,
play
it's
that
fun.
deck,
Of course.
but it's boring and it's what everybody's going to be doing, and it's not going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
I will say on a positive note though, if they're going to introduce new like old cards, I guess, into the arena environment, I love that they made it a draftable
yeah,
limited experience.
I
Because what
agree.
did they do before? Like the historic anthologies or whatever, and you like
Yeah,
see the thing, you're like, I don't care, like whatever, keep this off my screen. But at least it gave us, a chance to have like a cube like experience. And I don't know that it needs to be up for 6 weeks, but here we are. So.
hey, we're gonna do a league. uh People are already upset at the last one. How's this one gonna go? We're already talking about this format like we wish it was the last one. uh
Yep.
So here's the thing. We'll go over the mechanics more, but I do think the mechanics for the next league look really, really cool and really fun with Planeswalkers. Have you seen this?
I did, yeah. I think it's neat. It's a cool way of having to make your decisions in the league and how has this not come up before, right? They're using like
Yeah,
the Planeswalker mechanics. I think that's cool. Very cool.
yeah, I agree. I'm super excited for it. I don't know how you game it. I don't know if you minus one, you minus one. I found out today that they Planeswalker points carry between weeks. So if you get Jace up to 7, you can then ultimate Chandra, which is something I didn't know. But I think that's really cool and makes it a little bit more interesting as well. I think the mechanics look super fun for Pioneer Masters.
Yeah, totally agree.
So recently, you and my brother went to SCG Columbus, and you guys kind of cleaned up a little bit. And I would love to hear a little bit about that because we haven't touched on it on the pod much. This is in-person Magic. We don't get a ton of this on the server. But you guys went to this SCG Columbus event. It sounds like you guys had a great time.
Yeah, we had a great time. So we've talked about it on the podcast before, but we love going to the SCGs or the Magic Fests
Yeah.
of the past, and it's a
GPs
good
back in the
excuse.
day, you know.
Yeah. But it's a good excuse for us to get together. We don't live in the same city. You guys just moved to Columbus, and it happened to be there, although a week before you moved to Columbus. That was a bummer.
Yeah, couldn't
So
make it, unfortunately.
nah, it's like the worst possible timing for you. But me and Nick got to go, and we're only doing side events, and we did a ton of mystery booster sealeds. They didn't offer draft, which is a bummer. And it was also all mystery booster one, which
Oh
which is
yeah,
fine,
but the new one,
but
you want to play the new one.
I want to play the new one. At this point, I've actually done a ton of mystery booster one
Yeah.
events. So it would be nice to see what's new in there and do a different environment. But we did a bunch of those. We did a couple foundations sealed. We got a draft in. We got a two-headed giant foundations in, which was awesome. We ended up winning those. And what we ended up doing was this is new from last time I had gone to these, is they made it so if you were 2-0 in any of your events, you could split basically just in the app. You didn't have to wait for the assignments and then like talk to your opponent and be like, "Hey, do you want to split so I can get into this next event?" And so what it did was it just allowed us to keep rolling through events. We sat around very little, and we got to do a ton of events. So it was awesome.
And you did great. I remember my brother Nick texted me be like, "Hey man, we just day one we played like we didn't lose a single match all day or something." Like you guys like played great Magic, had like a phenomenal win rate between you two over the whole weekend. You walked away with a big card. You know we're big fans of these big cards. You guys got a giant Path to Exile OTJ style treatment big card. And that's a win. That's a big win.
Yeah, super fun. That's the goal, right? When we go as a group, we pool our tickets and then we get a giant card. And since you couldn't be there, we FaceTimed you in on the decision
You
making.
did. You did.
So we went through all the cards, and yeah, we picked the Path to Exile was the alt art prosperity cards or whatever they call it, and what really sold us was the flavor text. Mysterious visitor saves town, vanishes. I think it's great.
That is great. And I get they say you guys did so well. Normally we got 3, 4 people pulling our tickets together to get this big card. You guys did it with 2 people, and you did it early. You had a great run there. I'm sorry I couldn't be there, but I'm happy to see you guys doing so well.
Yeah, and I got a hack related to that too, sort of. So we
Okay.
were doing well. We got a ton of tickets, and then so that path is going to Nick, and then so I got all the leftover tickets to do whatever. But I only play limited, so I don't care about the prize wall at all. I don't want anything on there. I got
Hmm.
enough. I've already got 30 play mats or whatever, and I don't need any deck boxes and stuff like that. So I didn't know you can take your tickets to the SCG booth and redeem it for store credit. And so I walked away with like 150 bucks of store credit that I
Nice.
converted into the oh geez, Unfinity like planet
Yeah,
lands,
yeah, yeah.
which I just love those. I think those are cool. Most of them was able to get foil, so I was really excited about that. And so yeah, and I'm gonna be rocking some new cool lands that I'm at the next event. So I
I
like it.
love it. I love it. I right now I've got the full art Phyrexian foil lands is what I use in my draft set. I know they're a pretty bunch.
Gotta have nice lands, right?
You gotta have some nice. That's the thing is like I love to bling out a deck, but again, like you, I'm a limited player. I'm not. I tried to bling out a modern deck one time and it didn't work. But like to bling out a limited deck, you just need to buy a bunch of fancy foil lands, and you know what? Lands aren't that expensive. So you
No.
can buy some really cool fancy lands for not too cheap, and then you got them forever. And then another thing, tokens. I have tons of foil double-sided tokens that I always use, and I'm always kind of, whoa, well, you need a 2/2 bird? Don't worry, I got that in here somewhere. Yeah, it's a foil. Yeah, it's cool. Uh,
All right. I like that. Maybe that'll be my next goal rather than just getting a bunch of lands all the time.
we got to talk about fantasy football a little bit. I know it's not Magic, and if you don't like this, go ahead, skip ahead. But we had John D. Daily Draft on last week, who said he got into Magic through fantasy football. So maybe there's a little bit more crossover there than I thought. But we do have an official AGL, the AG NFL fantasy football over on the side server, and you're having a great year there as well. Not only are you doing good in foundations, but you're doing good in the fantasy football league. Would you care to tell us a little bit about how that feels?
Yeah, it feels good. I've been doing fantasy. You've been doing fantasy forever. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I've kind of, I think, found the sweet spot between how much time I want to spend researching and making decisions and like where to get my information from. So I love it. I keep an eye on it. A good Sunday for me is like throwing Red Zone on and having an arena going and just kind of keeping an eye on both things and taking it easy. So yeah, it's super fun.
Magic and football is a good combination. Do you know who are you playing this week in your semifinal match?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I also don't know, and I'm the commissioner, so it's probably worse that I don't.
Who is I feel bad.
Oh, so what?
Who's the
I know who it is
Ky-
because it's the person no one knows who it is. They always ask.
yeah, the Kyler Durden, the
Yep, yep.
diabolic. Yeah.
It's Diabolic Machines. It's Joaquin E.
It's
Uh,
Joaquin. It's me and Joaquin.
Yep. And you know what? He had Kyler Durden, and then I was like, oh, awesome, because I'm a big Cardinals fan. Kyler's the
Uh-huh.
quarterback for the Cardinals. Like, hey, man, let's talk Cardinals. He's like, oh, no, it's just a funny team name I made up. And I was like, oh, I got so excited for a second because no one ever likes the Cardinals.
hmm
I thought I bet a fellow friend. And then he dropped Kyler near the end of the year. What are you doing, Joaquin? Uh,
Yeah, well, I'm in three different leagues and I'm in the playoffs in two of them, and the one that I'm not is where I had Kyler for
oh,
most of the.
oh. Well, hey, yeah, I'm wishing you luck out there to make the playoffs. You get a nice trophy if you win, and I'm buying. I think I'm buying the league entry for whoever gets third place. So hey, you're still in the running to, if nothing else, at least maybe get a free league entry out of the thing.
I'll take it. Yeah, super fun. Yeah, thanks for organizing it too. It's putting a bunch of stuff together.
Hey, yeah, I know that's a beautiful thing about the league, right? There's so many people in here. It's easy to find enough people who have similar interests as you. I put out actually it was like 2 years ago. A bunch of people I saw talking about fantasy football, and I was like, well, if this many people are talking about it, I'm sure there's enough people to do a league. We did a league last year. It was a lot of fun. We came back this year, and real quick, actually. Can you tell us a little bit about the Fantasy Survivor League you do? Because I think that's super interesting and that's coming to a close.
Yeah, well, so I think with both fantasy football and Survivor, they overlap with I think the things people like about Magic a lot, you know? So like for the fantasy football, you put a bunch of try-hard Magic players and say, "Oh, you got to do a bunch of research and look up the stats on these people and whatever," and it meshes pretty well. I think our league is the most competitive one that I'm in because eventually, a lot of times you get friends and they don't, set their lineups and they don't whatever. Like people are really putting in the effort.
Yeah.
And then Survivor, is just, it's not necessarily a social deduction game, but it kind of is. And so it's just sort of you're gamifying everything. And the people that play it now walk into it knowing that they're playing a game. So they're trying to set up their early game, their mid game, their late game. And there's a lot of things that I think are uh appealing to people who like playing Magic. And so we just started talking about it on the server, and then I stole this from Lord Tupperware. He used to have a Survivor podcast where he and his co-hosts set up a fantasy thing where you draft the contestants and then you get points for who wins immunity and who gets voted out and other random things. And I've just kind of expanded it. So yeah, in a couple hours to uh yesterday, right? Because this is going to come out on
Yeah,
Thursday.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's going to be the finale, and the last few episodes have just been like great gameplay, and it'll be interesting to see who wins. And we've got a little channel that we chat on it side. We've got a spoiler thread, so if people are watching it later, they don't get spoiled, and it's been a lot of fun. And we did it last season, and I'm sure we'll do it again. So if you're interested, It's in Cody's super secret side server, but also you can just message me and we'll just make the numbers work for whoever wants to play, right? We did 2 pods this time, and so all we did need to do is make sure people can have multiple contestants, so we can change what week we draft, or we can change, however many people are in it. So I think we'll do it again. I think people are enjoying it.
I just think it's so cool. I'm not even a Survivor fan. I didn't know you could make it into a game, but after seeing you run it on the server, I want to be like I wasn't into football before I got into fantasy football, right? So I feel like maybe getting into fantasy Survivor could get me into Survivor. I don't know. It looks really fun. And yeah, if you like Survivor, they've gamified it. They've made it a game. They play. You get a tag on the Discord if you get it. So go have fun.
Well, I think you should join us next time because, it's pretty low investment for everyone except for me since I have to score it. But
Mhm.
all you do is you get together and you draft the players at the beginning, and then that's it. There's no trading, there's no anything else, and yeah, and I'm gonna get the winner league entry too, so we put some stakes onto it. So
I love it.
should be fun. It's currently down to Zach C and Richard are just murdering everybody.
Two player of the years going for Survivor of the Year. You kidding me?
Yeah, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm not even surprised. Zach C. Richard are good at picking survivors. You kidding? Oh my
It's
gosh.
crazy.
They're both so value oriented, those two.
Yeah, well, they got it. They figured it out this time, that's for sure. I think I was the first one with all of my contestants eliminated. So,
Yeah. Oh, see, next year I'll watch it, and that's the thing is I gotta watch it. If I'm playing, I gotta watch. It'll make it fun.
yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we got our league questions. Are you ready for your league questions, Chris?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. First one's coming up from Johnny M. Johnny. Are we ever gonna get another episode of Cast Down?
So, are those not showing up on your podcast feed, John? I do them every week.
Wait, you do? I don't know if they show up in my feed.
Anybody's feed. No, is that nobody? No, I'm just kidding. Uh, yeah. So I mean, I would love to do another one. It's sort of up to you, right? I mean, you were the man with the plan on that. A little background.
I am. I'm happy to take a week off so you can do a cast down. That's no problem.
Yeah,
I
well,
just
to explain to folks who are newer, after the Partners Leave that we won, we kind of switched things up and we, in earnest, just you put out Cast Down where I was the host and you were the guest.
Yep.
And
We pretended like it had always been a show that you had your own drops and sound effects. Like the idea was like an alternate reality where Chris had done a podcast this whole time and I was coming on as the guest.
yeah, and you're the man with the plan with that. I think you had sort of had it in mind that if you won another league, that you would kind of switch it up and do something like that.
Yeah, I had the original idea I had was like if I win, I'll do like an interview with myself, but like lots of editing and work. But then it was a team league. I was like, well, it makes so much more sense just for Chris to do it. Like it's a team league. It's the other guy. Like how perfect. Like it was one of those happy accidents. Worked out way better than my original idea would have been.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, if you win one or if I get one, we'll figure something out. But I'm happy to do it because it was a lot of fun to do. So I'm sure there'll be some opportunity for us to figure something out.
Put that in the next Plains Chase League. If we go to this plane, it's cast down for the week and not hunt the week. Like
All right. Sounds great. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
yeah. Or we have like a backwards day league. I would love to do another cast down. Cast down was super fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Our next question from Richard K. Preacher. What is the perfect game day platter of foods? You love your fantasy football. You're watching the games. You're playing Magic. What's your spread?
Yeah, so I guess if we're talking like getting a cohesive platter of food ready to go, if you're watching the game or something, I'm probably going Mexican. I think I actually brought this up last time we spoke, is I really like making guacamole. So I make a mean guac. So
Oh,
we're
nice.
gonna make that. I'm gonna make the salsa fresh. Um, and then I'll make some sort of black bean dip also fresh and kind of just build up from there. Get your chips. I don't know how much you want to talk about food, but I could talk about what I do with all of it. And then I'd make some chicken. We could put some tacos together. Just have a lot of stuff that goes together well. And that's if I'm making it. if it's like Super Bowl time and or you just want to watch a game, you can't just be ordering some wings and some pizza, you know? The old standbys.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's almost no wrong answer as long as it's like good. Like, I do like a finger food. I like a snacking food. Uh, a crudité. Whatever, charcuterie board. But if I just show up and there's pizza, I mean, it's still going to be a great time, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's not really any wrong answers here.
Can't go wrong. And if you're making salsas and dips, I will say, the Tostitos like Can of Lime, great, can't go wrong. But they've upped their game. Check out your salsa verdes.
Oh
Check out
yeah.
your cantina style. Just really good chip options too. I love a good chip.
Oh yeah. You like it. Here's the thing. I like a good chip, but sometimes I just like a pretzel. A
Hmm.
pretzel's underrated. A nice little corkscrew shaped guy. Oh, that's a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris, what is I actually missed this one from Chris York, hidden underneath the Pioneer Masters League registration, now at 30 players. What is your ideal number of players for the Arena Gauntlet League and why?
I wonder if there's something that he's getting at that I'm missing with the question, but keep them coming, right? The bigger the better. Well, the more the merrier.
Yeah, I think the answer is either like more or like 10, so I have a really good chance of winning.
Oh, no, 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 no. I didn't even think about it like that. No, I would love it to be to the point where there's so many people that the league committee has a problem where they have to
Oh,
like,
I love this.
right?
Let's
Where they
let's
have
make
to
it an issue.
Yeah, well, people have floated the idea of like a promotion relegation situation with like the,
Yeah,
a top league
lots
and
of
a
ideas.
and that would be great if we had so many people. I mean, can you imagine just every like week 5, week 6 hitting the LFM and it just pinging right away and just having so many people. But the big logistical problem with that for me currently is that my friends list on Arena is broken.
Yeah,
Like
mine's not good.
it's they only let you have 200 and so you have to keep deleting people. You go through and you're like, I don't remember this name,
Yeah, exactly.
whatever.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
But now my friend requests aren't going through and I've got the space built up, so I don't know what has happened, but Wizards Arena, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, this is crazy. Fix the friends list.
No, they're working on that new Commander game now. They're not. They took away animations. They're not working on the friends list. You know how long it took me to be able to favorite a basic land, Chris? You know how long that took?
Oh my God, I remember that. I know we've got some software developers on the league, but it's got to be just like backspacing the 2 out of whatever setting and making it like a 5 or something, right? So you can have 500 instead of 200. Maybe I'm oversimplifying, but it can't be that hard.
No, I know that there's been floated about, like you say, splitting the league into divisions. At one point, do you do like more than a top eight or more than one league or whatever? Do you have any idea what that number could be? I remember floating it that it was 128. That we hit 128 a couple times, and nothing really changed. So it has to be more, right? So what, 150, 200? What's the number where things start to get difficult?
Yeah, and what's the dividing line, right? Is it just that you've got 15 people on 20 and 10 and it's just some random cut in the middle of that and it just feels bad for like 8
Yeah.
people? I don't know. I don't know what pushes it over and what other knobs that need to be turned and tweaked to do that. But I mean that would be I mean I know that's how they do it at big GPs and big events like that and it just is what it is, but at a certain point, that tiebreak kind of feels bad anyway. Usually it's
Yeah.
one or two people on the other side of it. But yeah, if you get to the point where it's double digits of people like on the wrong side of it, that it does seem like you need to make it a top 16 or something to play in for the last spot or do something where it contends with that issue. But I don't know. I don't know what the problem would be or the solution.
Yeah, and I don't know that we're there yet, but I would love to see it happen. I don't know that it's going to happen in Pioneer Masters. We'll see. But I am excited to see more and more people come into the league.
Absolutely.
And our last question of the day comes from Jack H. Rackick. Pioneer Masters related question. What is your favorite planeswalker that had an impact on the competitive scene of a format?
So this is a tough question because I don't know if this question is related to anything other than limited formats because I don't know
Sure.
anything about them. And so then that sort of goes into like, well, planeswalkers are typically, mythic rare or at least rare. And so I don't know that anyone has, you know, warped the format of a competitive limited format. You got your Okos or whatever that
Yeah.
just suck no matter what, and a lot of them were opened in this league.
Oh, you know what? I got a follow-up question then for you after this. Thanks for that, based on Oko.
Okay. Well, so then I got two sort of answers. One is so that are both recent. Well, I guess not recent for one of them, but I had to play against the Liliana Dreadhorde General like
Oh yeah.
statistically way too many times, both in this league and drafting in Foundation. So that would be a least favorite one.
It's a
And then
rough one.
so for ones that I liked playing that you could actually like fairly consistently get to is so you go back to War of the Spark where you got your uncommon planeswalkers, right? And I love a good Ashiok Dream Render.
Yeah.
Minus that thing a couple times, exile their graveyard, put half their cards in the bin. That's a fun, different angle to shoot at. And I always felt good when I played one, and I always felt like I needed to get rid of it when I was playing against one. So that'll be my answer. Just again, knowing that if we were talking standard or modern or pioneer or whatever, I'm sure there's like an actual answer to this question.
I'll tell you right now. I'll pick one from modern. I'm gonna say old Karn from Tron. Uh, the Karn that if you get it up to like negative 15 or whatever, you restart the game. What a
Mm,
fun What a fun little thing, like restarting the game. You don't get that very often. And it's just like what it is Karn. It's like you tick it down to exile permanence. And then if you ultimate it, you start the new game with all the permanents you exiled with Karn on your side of the battlefield. So like normally you win the game because you've got like some creatures you'll start with and an extra land or whatever. Um, but man, I want to say I've beaten a Karn Ultimate before. Like it is beatable, and nothing feels better than winning in an extra game that like you were down to start with. Uh,
yeah,
oh, just good times.
it sounds exhausting.
All right, so follow-up question. This is off the cuff. Weren't prepared for it. This is I got a little philosophical thing here for you. This is in feedback from today.
Uh-huh.
From was it Smitty Not Smite? Yeah, Smitty Not Smite. Eric S. Um, Floating the idea of just banning Oko in future leagues, right? He's in Eldraine, he's in OTJ. I open in Oko. He's very good. But the idea is, Oko's not fun to play against, and when we go to these planes that have him, he gets opened a decent amount of the time.
Seems like.
It does. So my question to you is, and I'm gonna make this a bigger, broader question because I think it also relates to Pioneer Masters a bit. Um, so in Pioneer Masters, like I said, they're kind of nerfing the gate deck out of the beginning, which again, I'm not saying is the wrong thing to do. I do think it is going to be a problem. Um, but how do you feel about the league committee or league like banning cards from limited or banning things to like nerf mechanics of sets? Like if we were in Strixhaven and like mascot exhibition, the bit that I remember the debate of like this card's too strong, should we ban it before the league starts? They didn't. But if we were to do another Strixhaven, you know, would that be on the table again? And is that something that like do you think we should be banning Oko? Do you think that Oko or Liliana, something like that, is it a problem?
I mean, it's a really good question, and you love seeing the debate on it because it is not fun, right? And I mean, that's what we're here. I think ostensibly, like this is a competitive server, but like people have, I think, generally, what makes it such a great community is it's like the right attitude of, hey, we're playing good high level Magic, but we're all having a great time, and so you have that. When you see that, you're just like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with this stupid card? And
Yeah.
sometimes you just feel like scooping them up. And I'm not a quick scooper. Like I let people play it out and beat me most of the time, but I get it. My initial take is no, I would not ban it. Unless it is in a situation where you're gonna ban other cards because there's like you're sort of making it a key, you're compiling things and you're like, okay, Oko, Dream Trawler, Mascot Exhibition, whatever. None of these cards are going to be part of it. But I think if you just happen to be, uh, in Eldraine or whatever, let Oko, whoever opens the Oko gets to play, and that, maybe that's me, and I get to get into the top 8, and it'd be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It's tough, right? Because it's like, yeah, Oko's not fun. Oko definitely shouldn't have been in that dumb OTJ bonus sheet. And Oko, speaking of planeswalkers that warped formats, Oko broke everything. Oko went back to Legacy and turned a Black Lotus into a creature for a win at some big tournament, right? Like, Oko was Broko, as they said. I don't know. I like to say let them play. Like you get to open your fun card, you get to open your fun card and have your fun. I opened an Oko this league. I didn't really have a ton of fun with it, if I was honest. I was splashing it, and yeah, when it came up, it won me my games, but I never got to like slam it turn 3 and like just steal stuff, like just take a win. But at the same time, again with the gates coming up, and it's like, yeah, we're nerfing the gate mechanic. I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, I do think it's going to be a problem, and it's not super fun to play against. So like,
Yep.
like it's tough. It's really tough. And again, I do think that banning the gates and stuff is good, and it is good for the league. But it's the question of should it be done, right? Like nerfing stuff that like is designed to be played a certain way. We already have our own rules and regulations. Where once you start like doing stuff like that, it kind of changes things a little bit, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too.
Just something to think about, and I am super excited for Pairing Your Masters. And again, yeah, keep those gates banned because it's not going to be great. But I don't know. Does Oko get banned, or like I know that it's like they try to avoid OTJ and like Mom as packs because they're so strong. They've kind of been like soft banned or something almost.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like I do miss playing those sets, but I get why we don't do it. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm excited for the next league. I wish you luck in this league and in fantasy football. And it doesn't sound like you're in your Survivor league, but hey, you get 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right?
Not too bad. And I will say before, if you want to, there was another league question in there
was
from
there?
Evan C.
Oh, hold on. Did I miss it? Oh, you know what? There was. You're right. I totally skipped this. I'm sorry, Evan. It got lost in the shuffle in the hot planeswalker debate that we're doing right now.
Which will put you on the spot more for the question because it's for both of us.
Yep. And I just noticed that as we were recording. I hadn't read that before. Evan C. Piece of crap. Hypothetical. We're doing a partner league, but previous partners that have top aided are not eligible as partners that can enter, which is a very fun rule, by the way. That's kind of a fun rule for a league.
That would be fun.
However, you both still care about each other a whole lot. We have to matchmake for your former partner without consulting each other. Which AGL are you picking for one another, and why?
Yeah,
right.
so we can't sandbag each other.
Yeah, and we haven't spoken about it. So we don't know what we're gonna say. Do you have your answer?
I do have my answer. Yeah.
All right. Why don't you give me yours, then I'll give you mine.
Okay. Well, I don't think this is necessarily going to be a surprising answer, but when you choose, you sort of look at who's always up at the top of the standings, that sort of thing, right? And so there's the Discers. There's my compatriots across the city here, Miranda and Emmett and Dan. And while I would pick them for you, I bugged them a lot already about my builds and stuff like that. So I'm giving you Jordan, and I want you to infiltrate and learn the secrets and report back to me. That has to be part of the,
Oh, I love that.
Part of the assignment.
Please. I need it, Chris. I think
I need it too.
What a great idea. And also, yeah, I would love to play Jordan. Jordan's like a super nice guy, and I would learn so much from him, I'm sure. Like to pick his brain on Magic over a period of time, like the things you could gather. I'm sure.
Yeah, and if it was one where you're doing the split pools and coming up with stuff, I'm sure those would just be super interesting conversations.
Oh, you really did. You did me a service there. Thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I think mine's going to be a little less interesting because you already said their name. I'm going to pair you with a Texan. I'm going to pair you with Miranda. I think it'd be great. I know that you guys have hung out and played Magic together. Again, always see her name at the top of the standings. She's gonna help you get there, and you guys know each other. You already bug her about the builds. Like you got a back and forth. I think it'd be a great partnership.
I would love that because I do feel like there's got to be more secrets in there, right? Like
Oh, you
how is
noticed
it every time getting up there in the top 8? It's crazy.
She's
Yeah.
the watcher. She watches every game. She knows
Ah.
every deck. She knows all the tricks. She plays her practice games. Like she puts in the work.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to it, but I'll bet there's more, and I want to learn. So thank you for the pairing.
Then we'll come back together and then we'll win another partners league. How about that? Thanks, Evan.
Yeah, a little hero's quest for us. It sounds great.
Well, Chris, again, thanks for coming on the show. I wish you luck in the rest of your league games. I hope you enjoy being an otter. I hope you succeed on Ixalan, and I hope you win the Fantasy Football League. I'll get to send you a fun trophy.
Thanks, man. I'll do my best. Gonna try. It's gonna be fun.
All right. Good luck out there.
Thanks.
Again, Chris is awesome. I think the Survivor thing that he does is super interesting and unique. Again, I have no interest in Survivor, but people that do this look like they have a lot of fun, and it makes me want to do it. Chris is doing great in the Fantasy Football League, and Chris is still alive for Week 6 of Foundation's Planes Chase League. You know, Chris is just he's a great guy, and he's a great community member. Chris brought me into the league, and Chris is always doing side events and trying to contribute. He's got a good head on his shoulders. I can't say enough wonderful things about Chris. So happy that he was able to come on the show, and I'm happy that he's having a good league. His deck is really interesting, and Chris is he builds unique decks. He doesn't build the deck, but I learned that during team leagues. He doesn't play decks that I would play. We fight over cards, but you know what? He plays decks that he plays, and he plays them well, and I love to see it. I really do. And that's going to do it for the show this week. A little bit long interview. Sorry, and I hope you enjoy. Hope everyone's ready for a happy holidays. I won't have another podcast till after Christmas, but hey, I'm excited for it. I hope everyone is safe, getting together with family and playing some good Magic. Make Week 6, make the Mega Draft. It looks like it's going to be a really fun Mega Draft. You know, we didn't get all the fun, crazy stuff we wanted for Planes Chase, but I bet that Mega Draft is going to have all the excitement that we were hoping for. And then get ready for the next league coming out, Pioneer Masters. Like I said, I'm doing the Rotos. I'm in 2 Rotos right now. In one Roto, I'm undefeated. It feels great. And in the other Roto, not doing super great. It doesn't feel as good. But hey, you win some, you lose some. And like me and Chris kind of dogged on the format a bit. It's not bad, but I agree. I don't think it's as great as Foundations. But hey, the league always makes a bad set a little bit better, in my opinion. Always makes the sets that I don't really love to draft, and then I have a little bit more fun. Because I'm playing my league games, I'm getting involved. I hope you are too. Sign up for the Roto, sign up for a side event, do a Secret Santa. I have not seen a Secret Santa draft this year yet. Somebody do a Secret Santa draft. It's where you build packs, and then everyone has to play with the crazy stuff you put in them. They're really cool. They're really neat. Until then, I hope you get to keep a good 7. It's Week 6. You've been playing your best. You want to start off with some good cards in your hand. You want to start the game with a plan. And I hope that Shuffler's in your favor. Because no one wants to draw their 10th land. And no one wants to get stuck on 5 lands when they got 3 6-drops in hand, right? You want to play to the best of your ability. You want to give yourself outs. And you want your deck to be your friend. Just like I am your friend. Your Goku or Go Home, your host with the most, your Don DeMarco, your Pride of Mardu. And until then, I guess this is going home.